What up? It's your boy Jeff. I don't think I'm gonna hold on to that intro, but we're gonna try it anyway. It's snowy outside still. It's cold outside still. It seems like a great time to try my new purchase, which is these guys. They're called Snow Trax. They're made by the same people. There it is. That make Yaktrax, which is In Plus brands. And those guys actually make some pretty good stuff. They make Balega socks. I think I'm pronouncing that right. They make trigger point rollers. I got a couple of those, so I'm hoping for good things out of these. If you're like me, you got some running stuff on your Christmas list. Mine has the Yaktrax Run on it, which is debatably a higher quality version. They're about 40 bucks retail. These were $11.50. So I'm hopeful that they can be pretty awesome and not that expensive. And they were bought at Costco. So if they suck, they go back and they have a good return policy. Couple things. This is obviously a simpler one. Sorry, the cat's meowing at me. You can see they got some spikes front and rear, 2 in the back, 5 in the front on each of them. This says they go up to size 12. I'm a 13. Don't tell anybody. But I think they'll fit. I did try them on last night to make sure that they would fit. And they do show sport as one of the options, so they should work. Now trails, I mean, are going to be, I think, a little less slippery than a road run, just because you kind of have some inherent terrain underneath the snow anyway. At the same time, there's also a lot more like crazy runoff and freezing and stuff. So it's been sub-freezing for a while here, so I think it's going to be a pretty decent trail to run on for the snow. But yeah, so a couple things. I was really thinking I kind of wanted to take my my Ultras, the ones that you haven't seen yet because that video hasn't come out yet, but I got a nice cheap pair of Ultras. The problem is those are a 0 drop. I haven't run a lot in a 0 drop, and I don't want to go put a few miles on and maybe booger up my foot a little bit. I need to kind of get used to that a little more. So instead, I'm going with these standards. These are kind of what I'm running in right now, which is the Asics Gel Kayano 24. I don't love these shoes. If you watched the last episode, you know I like the Nikes a little more. But these have perhaps just a tad more traction. We'll see. So I'm going to try to do a quick little jaunt with nothing aside from these shoes on my feet. See how that goes in the snow and ice. And then based on that, well, not based on that, but right after that, I'm going to slip on these guys and then probably put 3 to 4 miles on it. I'm going to go do the Who Now Loop, which is one of my favorites. I'll probably do a trail video on that at some point. It's a little cold and dark to do it right now, but and then Kemper Ridge is the one that kind of splits the middle of that, and that has a really steep section that I like doing as a hill repeat. It's just a butt kicker, and I think it's going to be really interesting to do that in the winter, and I might hurt myself. Fingers crossed I don't. I got my spikes. I hit myself in the head there. Spikes! Yeah. So we're going to suit up, head over there, and I'm doing phone video, so I'm going to keep my phone. I mean, I'm just going to talk to you guys as I see fit through that run. So yeah. All right, we're up here at the kind of middle point of the Who Now Loop. I think this is the high point of the trail. It's a really pretty area. There's foothills back there, and then you turn this way, and there's the city over there. It's even prettier with snow on it, I think. Anyway, so I did the first maybe quarter mile with just the shoes on, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. It was slippery. I could feel it moving, but it wasn't like atrocious. So then I slipped on these bad boys, which actually fit surprisingly well. And man, they're doing some work. It makes traction just known. Like the only place it feels a little slippery right now is anywhere where it's deep, where it's not kind of worn down a little bit. So most of these trails, honestly, a lot of these are populated right now. The lower ones, there's a lot of dog walkers out today. Saw a couple other runners. I'm surprised our ski hill, which is way up there somewhere, opened up yesterday. And I saw a lot of people heading that way, but a lot more than I expected to be down here. So yeah, so far so good. They take a little finesse to put on, and they kind of squish my toes a little bit on the one side, but nothing to really complain about. So if you look behind me, this is one of the brutal climbs right up there somewhere, kind of that area. But I'm gonna do this one. This is Kemper Ridge right here, and it's got a pretty steep hill on it. So that part right there, that sucks. That's a good heart rate jacker. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna see how it works. I'm gonna kind of probably run across the top, report back, and then come back down and do it again. So stay tuned. Well, it wasn't quite perfect, but it was not bad. It was grippy, if not a little slippy. It's a steep hill. I was on the balls of my feet the whole time. So I shuffled a little bit. It slowed me down a little bit, but it's also winter and there's snow on the ground. So what can you do? There's the hill. I'm gonna go back up it and report on the downside. And because it's pretty, look, there's Boise. Ooh. Camper Ridge accomplished. They're not really a lot better or worse going downhill. The biggest thing I noticed is there's only a few points of contact. So I think when it gets steep and you start really kind of clawing at the ground as opposed to just running, they just don't work as well. But as soon as I got to a little bit of a flatter section and kind of opened it up a little bit, up my cadence, and could kind of just spin it out, that worked better. So not bad, not quite as awesome as I had, secretly hoped but not expected. But yeah, so we're gonna go down here, which is the rest of the Who Now loop. I think I'm gonna take it over to Hippie Shake and then come down and probably at the bottom before I get back out to the car, try to open it up a little bit, see how they feel sprinting. They feel just a little weird. You feel like contact points underneath your feet, but I mean, can't complain too much. It's making snow running a lot easier. So onwards. Okay, just got back from the hill. I was gonna do this at the bottom, but there were a lot of people there and they might have thought I was crazy, just talking to myself or whatever. So here, these are off my feet. As you can see, they look kind of weird. They're just like an oval, but they didn't move. I was really happy to see that. I wasn't sure. I mean, they don't feel like they're that strong of a grip on the shoe, but once you have them on, they're not bad. And if you get them just basically hugging the outside of the sole, I'm sure it depends on shoes. There's probably some shoes they just don't fit that well, but these ones, my Asics, they fit just fine. So all in all, if I had to give them a grade, I'd probably say a solid B+ right now. I mean, they're cheap, $11.50 plus tax or whatever. That's nothing. I'm gonna see if I can find an Amazon link to throw in the description, so you can find them. There are very, very many different types of Yaktrax, which is the kind of top level brand here. So you can always just look for those too. Maybe I'll just throw one of those in. But this particular one is the Snow Trax. So yeah, I did a 5K in them on the trails around here, and all in all, no real complaints. They feel a little weird underfoot. I think that's just kind of the nature of the beast. If you have spikes under your feet to get traction, you're gonna feel a little tippy. So at the end there, I kind of busted into more of a a fast mile pace, and felt great. No slipping at all. Even though it was kind of more of a like lateral motion, kind of digging into the snow a little more than just kind of plodding along on top of it at a slower pace like I was. But no, it was better than the hill. They didn't slip. So if you need something like this and you got a Costco nearby, strong recommendation from me. I got no gripes. So yeah, easy pickup, and the nice thing too, I mean, these things show no damage. They look totally fine. They're dirty now, but no cracking, nothing. They still are nice and flexible, even though it's sub-freezing out, and came off easy. And yeah, I mean, even if they do break, Costco's Costco. You can take them back, get your money back, and I will if they do. But until then, I'm just gonna keep using them. So that's about that. Keep an eye out for more videos and keep running strong. Talk to you soon.